everyone, this is Rachel and this is my bullying interview. Today, two of my friends, Tankwana and Vicky, are going to tell us about times that they were bullied, and I've given them a few questions to answer for us. So Tankwana, tell us about your story.
The first time I actually remember being bullied, it was around like early elementary school time, like first grade, second grade, and it was like verbal bullying and emotional bullying. And as I got older, it escalated into physical bullying. I know I was bullied. They told me they were really honest about it, and it was a race thing because I was the only black person in my class, and they constantly said racial jokes that they were very, very hurtful, and I was really confused at the time because, as a young kid, most people who aren't, things like that aren't put into their head. They just don't understand why. So I now understand that it was a race motivated thing, which I don't understand why 6 and 7-year-olds are worried about that. But honestly, I felt confused at first when the bullying started, but when I got old enough to really understand it and understand that they were bullying because my skin was different and that's all there was, it made me feel kind of embarrassed and ashamed of who I was because I wasn't like my classmates. It was more than just my skin. It was my hair was different. They would tease me about that. My mom would do my hair in little barrettes, and most of the girls in my class who were white, they would have like ponytails, or they would have their hair down. I'd never worn my hair like that, and they would make me feel bad about that. It affected me short term because I was just like embarrassed about like the little things, and like long term, like now as like I'm an adult or trying to become an adult, it sometimes in a situation when something doesn't go my way, it's always in the back of my mind, like, is it because I'm black? Like, it always, I don't know if it was from the bullying, but I feel like it was, like, you always have that thing in the back of your head, like, is it because of who I am, something that I can't control? Honestly, I don't think there was anything more that I could do about it. I would tell my mom about it. They changed my classes. I was in different teachers' classes. They talked to the principal. It didn't change. It was pretty bad, and I was moving back and forth between a predominantly white school and black school. And so when I got my bearings in the predominantly white school, my mom, my family moved to the black school, and the stereotype of talking white and acting white, and I wasn't black enough for them. So like I honestly felt like I had no place where I belonged, and it was still so confusing. And like looking back on that, you shouldn't feel like that. You should just be who you are. And it was just really, really difficult and confusing. For those who are being bullied, I would just honestly say, hang in there. Like it really, like people like cliche, it gets better. It really does, because as you get older, you'll be able to like weed out the people that aren't worth your time, that are not the people you want or need in your life, and it'll be worth it in the long run. And honestly, like my resolution is that I'm happy with who I am. I still have like those little thoughts in the back of my head, but I think they'll always be there. But I am happy with who I am and the African American culture that I do have, and I feel no shame in that.
Thank you for sharing, Tankwana. Vicky, would you like to share your story now?
My bullying story is different from Tankwana's. Hers happened in school. Mine was mostly at home. When I was about 10 years old, my father had passed away, and I was with my mother and my two brothers. And the type of bullying I experienced was more physical, and there's verbal abuse, and that affected me emotionally and mentally. The reason why I think that I was bullied at home was because my mother obviously was very depressed from my father's passing, and she didn't know how to deal with it, where she inside felt upset, and she needed to make, I guess, the people around her upset. And me being at home with her, I was the first one that she could put that kind of effect on. The bullying made me feel obviously very down, and I felt unimportant as a kid, but the things I wish I had done about it was stand up for myself more instead of just taking it when I stand up for myself, do it in a more mature way than I had when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I would just throw stuff around and just get mad back at her, which would make her bullying like worse. I put that feeling that I had when I got bullied into my schoolwork, and that's what I did. I did more schoolwork, I read more, and that's how I coped with it. Advice do I have for others being bullied? Well, in my type of situation at home, it's kind of hard because it's per household. If it's more severe, I suggest talking to CPS about bullying. But if it's like not as severe, I say just kind of work through it like I did. And even though it was tough at times, I obviously made it out. And after a while of being separated from my mother, we were able to talk things out, and she eventually matured from being a bully and cope with herself. So that's my story.
Do you have any resolution from your bullying? Anything you took away?
That, I guess from listening to both stories, a resolution that I would take away from it is that bullying doesn't just happen at school. It can also happen at home and at other places. And things I take away would be that even though it is your family, it is still considered bullying.
All right, well, thank you two very much for sharing your story with us.